Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. And welcome to Saturday morning. We are in the weekend. Our teacher for this week is John Wellwood, but I did rope in Jiddu Krishnamurti as well. We've got one thought from Krishnamurti in and among the teaching from John Wellwood. Let's get right into it. Have you ever gotten lost in a daydream, off on a journey in your own mind, only to be jolted back to reality by perhaps something like a sudden sound? That snap back to the present moment, that remembering of, oh yes, here is where I am. That's a moment of full awareness. It's the fundamental ability to perceive your surroundings, your thoughts, and your emotions. John Wellwood's message today is about awareness, but awareness can be a double-edged sword. While awareness can open us to possibility and opportunity, we can also become shut down when we become acutely aware of our shortcomings, dwelling on flaws and anxieties. John Wellwood is specific in his message about awareness being a potent force for healing and renewal, though. Awareness born of love is what he calls this. Danae, a very good morning. Sunbury, good morning. Welcome to the weekend. Great seeing you. So the first thought from John Wellwood is, awareness born of love is the only force that can bring healing and renewal. Awareness born of love is the only force that can bring healing and renewal. Anami, a very good morning. It's good to see you. Happy Saturday. To understand what awareness born of love means, it might be helpful to be reminded of its opposite. The kind of awareness we easily find, awareness born of fear. Being deeply aware of everything that is wrong with us. All of our flaws staring us in the eye with accusatory expressions on their faces. What John Wellwood speaks of is awareness on a deeper level, but it really can be quite difficult to get beyond our own knee-jerk reaction to our glaring imperfections. And for that, we'll ask for some advice from Jiddu Krishnamurti. He says, to understand oneself is to become aware of every thought and feeling without condemnation. So I'll read that beginning again. He says, in order for you to understand yourself, you need to become aware of every thought and feeling, but without condemnation. When you condemn, you put a stop to your feelings and thoughts. When you do not condemn, justify, or resist, then the content of your thought will reveal itself. He says, experiment and you will see. Awareness born of love is beautifully described by Krishnamurti as becoming aware of every thought and feeling without judging it. Allowing difficult emotions to arise without trying to numb or avoid them is a journey that leads to the understanding of how our inner experience moves. We get to understand that what the origin is for each of these events, and we see that whatever comes will also go, leaving us as the strong presence that was able to gently hold all of this. The last thought from John Wellwood is, forget about enlightenment. Sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. I think that's another beautiful description of awareness born of love. Awareness born of love leads us to discover our inherent strength, the capacity to hold all these experiences with a gentle compassion. There is nothing outside to reach for, no distant goal somewhere in the future that will finally make you experience fulfillment. Honor what is calling within you right now. Pay attention to what needs to be allowed to be felt. This brings clarity, and clarity will always show you what your next steps are. Today's meditation is an exercise in awareness born of love. We are cultivating the ability to bring our attention to what we are experiencing without judgment and criticism. So if you're ready, Today's meditation is called Come to Your Senses, because we're simply giving our body an opportunity to show us the physical experiences that it is having. You can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. You can take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Our journey today is a process of checking in with this body. I will start that right now. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to the space between your eyes, your forehead, and that place specifically where you carry a frown. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? And when you do you remind your body to soften? Do you soften the frown and smooth out your forehead? With your next exhale, bring your attention to the space in and around your mouth. Do you perhaps sometimes find yourself grinding your teeth, or your tongue pressed hard against the roof of your mouth, or your jaw muscles clenched tightly? And if you do you have a conversation with this body? Do you let this body know that it would be okay to soften? Do you perhaps sometimes find your shoulder or neck muscles, upper back muscles tight, shoulders pulled up high, sometimes even almost level with your ears? And when you find that, do you remember to take a few big breaths, roll out your shoulders forward and backwards, and remind this body to soften? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your stomach area, that place where tension and anxiety hide very effectively without us noticing. But when you do notice that your stomach is all tight, do you remember to have a conversation with this body? Do you speak to this body with kindness? And let this body know that it would be safe to become softer. Lastly, bring your attention to your legs and your arms, specifically your hands. Because your hands is another place where tension can hide pretty effectively. Tightly balled fists go under the radar without us noticing, sometimes even with an imprint of your nails in your palm. For right now, are you making sure that your hands are relaxed, half open in your lap? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left, or lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now. We can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting, feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Our journey today is an opportunity to give our body a chance to just show us what experience it's having. And in so doing, we get to practice observing the experience without judgment. Just letting an experience be felt. This journey starts right at the top with our eyes and then moves its way through our body. So right now, as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, the question is, if you were to open your eyes, what is the most obvious thing that you would see? And now with your eyes closed, as you hold your breath, use your mind to study this obvious object. See it from all of its angles. Look at all of its color and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. We'll change gears and still stay with what you can see, but this time, as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask yourself, what would be the least obvious object in the room that you're in? Find this less obvious object with your mind, and then study it from all its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Notice your ability to simply have awareness of what you are seeing without coming to any conclusions or judgment or condemnation about what you're seeing. John Wellwood calls this awareness born of love. Let's keep practicing. We'll take a step down to your ears and what you can hear. And with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, try and keep your attention on the most obvious sound that you can hear. Listen deep into this obvious sound. See if you can find all of the vibrations from this obvious sound. Take your next big breath. And then we'll change gears. This time, see if you can hold your attention to the faintest sound that you can hear. Listen deep into the sounds around you and find something that's barely a whisper, and And now draw all of that sound to you. Take your next big breath. Notice your ability to simply have awareness of the experience. Krishnamurti spoke about it as becoming aware of your thoughts, your emotions, without judging, without condemnation. He said, because the moment we condemn, we stop the experience. We stop the thoughts, we stop the feelings. This is a very simple exercise, but it translates very well to all of our experiences. We'll take another step down, and for the next 2 stops, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be to allow you to smell and taste. The next 2 stops need some extra curiosity too, to bring the curious part of you. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if you can find any obvious smell. Is there any obvious smell for you to study right now? Take your next big breath. Then change gears and see if you can find any other smell besides the first obvious smell. Take your next big breath. I always feel as though smell is specifically a good exercise because we struggle to not have a knee-jerk, visceral reaction in our body when we smell something bad, especially if that smell is inside the house, perhaps a bin in the kitchen that should have been removed already. Next time you encounter that smell, would it be possible for you to not have an immediate reaction? Could you take a little while longer to just observe the experience? Could you have a conversation with your body and let your body know that this smell won't kill us? We don't have to react right now, not this moment. Let's see if we can have this experience for a little while and then remove the bin. try it the next time you feel your body reacting so violently to a bad smell. We'll take another step down to your mouth, to your taste buds. And for this one, you need to bring an extra dose of curiosity. Would it be possible for you to pay attention to what you could taste and actually find something right now? Let's see. Take your next big breath. And one more time, let's do this really difficult one. Be curious. Is there any other taste that you can find right now? Try. Take your next big breath. Notice the ability that you have to allow the experience to be felt. And know that you are extending this ability to bigger experiences too. Know that you are getting better at allowing bigger emotions to be felt, without the need to instantly react to them. This muscle is growing stronger. Our last stop is the surface of your skin. Scan the surface of your skin and see if you can find where is the most obvious sensation. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, study this obvious sensation. What are the different pressures and sensations that you feel there? Take your next big breath. And then just one more time. Scan the surface of your skin and find where is the slightest sensation. Perhaps you can just feel fabric rest on skin somewhere. Or perhaps you can feel the air touch the face on your forehead or your cheek. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Feel softness in every cell. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. The next time you're experiencing a bigger emotion, you can trust that you are able to sit with that experience in the same way you just did with your physical senses. This applies to our inner senses too. The ability to have the feelings be felt for no other reason than just feeling them. Not making them good or bad. Not having any judgment about what the feeling is, but just allowing it to be seen, to be heard, to be felt. John Welwood describes it this way. He says, "Awareness born of love is the only force that can bring healing and renewal." Awareness, the ability to be aware of what is taking place. So often our awareness leads us to fear. Having awareness in fear, that makes us react in a big way. Makes us feel like we need to run or hide or numb. John Welwood is specific in his phrasing of words, awareness born of love. Is what brings us to the place where we don't need to numb or hide or run. Because we can just hold the experience in love. Jiddu Krishnamurti describes it this way. He says, "To understand oneself is to become aware of every thought and feeling without condemnation. When you condemn, you put a stop to your feelings and thoughts. But if you do not condemn or justify or resist, then the content of your thought will reveal itself." When you can sit with the bigger emotions, you'll see how they play out. The way Krishnamurti says, the content of your thoughts will reveal itself. You will eventually form a deeper understanding of exactly where these thoughts and feelings come from, how they play a role in your life, how they might sometimes be helpful, and also where they've caused damage in your life. But when we can see and hold all of this in awareness and love, then we become better at knowing how to respond in future. And one more time, in simplicity, John Wellwood says, don't have any goals to get to. Forget about becoming enlightened. Just sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Could there be a more beautiful way to describe awareness born of love? Listen to the wind singing in your veins. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this body and all of the sensory experiences that this body brings. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to observe and understand this body. Learning to give this body space to have the experience that it is having. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to not judge this body. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for having acceptance for everything about this body, and finding that I become the strongest version of me in the process. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for having this experience with us. Nella, a very good morning. It's great seeing you. Happy Saturday. Almare, good morning. Happy Saturday to you. And Katrin, a very good morning. It's awesome seeing you live with us. Hey Charlene, good morning. Happy Saturday. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Sunmari. Thank you, Anami. How good have you become at not judging this body? And I think one of the best measurements is when you catch just that glimpse of yourself in the mirror, that glimpse of yourself in a window. What is the knee-jerk reaction? Has that become better? Do you find the knee-jerk reaction more often being compassion for this human you see? Lots of love to all of you. Have a beautiful weekend. Ciao, ciao.